There we go.
There you go. Oh, let's get this bar off. Little sidebar thing. How you doing, sir?
I can't complain, man. How are you?
I'm doing better now. Uh, just kids ran me ragged today. Wife had
And
some outdoor things to do. Uh,
yeah,
and I was just getting raked through the coals by just two-thirds of my kids, just raking me through the coals.
yeah, I get it, man. That's pretty much like my day too, man. It's just before I know it, I finally got just to sit down and goes, wait, nope, one more thing to do, and it's all done.
Yeah, I can tap out, and go to bed. Uh, so first of all, thanks for giving us your time tonight. Help me with your moniker here, the Big Bad Cat Kaiju.
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 Yes.
I I consider myself a geek and nerd. I guess is the right word, but I don't know what that word means at all.
Yeah, man. No, so it's translated loosely to large and strange monster.
Mm,
So in Japan, it's a genre of movie. So your King Kong, your Godzilla, those are like Pacific Rim.
okay,
Those are considered the genre of kaiju movies, just large monsters fighting.
you're the big bad. You're the biggest and the baddest.
That's right.
No one bigger. Um, I first saw you. I first stumbled upon you, I believe, with friend of the show, Shane Taylor, Shane Taylor Promotions.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
you're still with them? Still with that?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah.
That's more than a faction, I would say. I wouldn't even call it a faction. How would you describe Shane Taylor Promotions?
Man, that's a brotherhood, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it boils down to. It's a real big brotherhood. Um, all it is a phone call. That's all it is. It's like, hey, I need you. Sure, I'll be there. Um, I've made those phone calls. Shane's made those phone calls. When he needs us, we show up. As simple as that.
Boom. Any company, no free agents, right? Do what you want.
Exactly.
Great. Um, I believe it was a WWE MSG house show where Ahmed Johnson. First of all, this is the first time I've ever heard somebody say Ahmed Johnson hooked him into wrestling. So that blew me away. What specifically can you recall? I mean, you're 8, so what specifically can you recall from that where you're like, "Holy crap, that's amazing!" When I'm watching,
Man, we were in the cheap seats.
yeah,
We were in the cheap seats. That's what I remember the most is that we were in the cheap seats. But I remember seeing Ahmed Johnson for the first time, and that to me that guy was so big
yeah, see, well,
that like you were sitting front row no matter where you were at. Like he was that big. That's like I said, it's the one thing that just stands out. It's almost been 30 years.
yep,
I still remember that. Like it's the back. Like I still remember like it's yesterday.
yeah. I was like, I never heard. I mean, Ahmed Johnson was great first time for what he was doing. Big, huge man, powerful, strong. But like, I listened to Busted Open. I've heard Mark Henry say some stuff about him. I guess that's not my place, but wow, I was like, oh my god, Ahmed Johnson did hook someone in.
Well, I mean, at the same time, it's just that when I was a fan.
Yeah, right.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, that's right.
That was my first moment of fandom.
Right.
As I became like a little more integrated in what's going on, until I became more just aware of what's happening. Yeah, Ahmed Johnson might not be the guy I want to recommend to kids today, but I mean to each his own.
Right. Yeah. Who would you recommend to kids today? Another 8-year-old kid uh, going to a house show, a live show. Who should they go see besides the big bad monster himself, O'Shea Edwards, by the way?
um, for the fan.
For a fan.
For the fan, that's a good question. A lot of people go like, "Who should I be watching?" I'm like, "Well, you
Right.
trying to watch like as a fan, or you trying to be entertained?" There's so many levels of nuance with that one. Believe it or not, entertaining wise, well, I really can't say 8 years old. Um, but actually, for 8 years, Willow Nightingale,
Will and Angel.
Willow's she's great,
Yeah.
absolutely great. Trisha Dora,
Yeah.
fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Jordan Blade, Eel O'Neill.
Nice.
I mean, just guys who've been putting in the work for quite a while. Might not get the shine that they should be getting, but like it's coming. like the more people who start to see them, they're really going to start waking up in terms of what the people are putting on, especially people like Jordan Blade and Neil O'Neal. Those two specifically,
We
a lot
we
of love.
uh we had Trish on here. She is just big smile,
She's
passion,
wonderful,
phenomenal
wonderful.
human.
She's wonderful. She's wonderful.
Uh, yeah, for sure. I stand by those. Um, I was prepping for this. You had mentioned in some other podcasts, some other shows. You're artistic, in did theater. You love telling stories. Uh, you can see that. You can feel that. In your promos, one of them, the seat at the table stands out. I'm sure you've heard that one several times.
That was fun. That was fun to do, man. That was
Yeah.
fun to do.
What
Yeah,
was
yeah.
the story behind a seat at the table?
Um, Prior to the fanfare that it gets now,
Yeah.
um, a lot of it was really just based on the fact that at the time I moved. I moved from Atlanta, pretty much and bought a house out in Pennsylvania, living large, living life, living that Ring of Honor life, and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Um, it was one of those times where like I could hear the rumblings from people back home that maybe just because I'm on TV anymore, that means I just don't have it, or maybe I can't do the things that everyone sees on Twitter, and just because well, he's living big off of TV now. Um, so it was one of those things of just like, remember, the only reason why I'm here is because I have kicked the shit out of people like you. This is why I'm here. This is why I can afford this, because I can kick the shit out of you guys. And if I have to come back down there to like remind somebody of that, I will. And that's kind of where we kind of went from there. Um, it took like 3 days for us to put it all together. In terms of like how we wanted to do it, set lighting up, all this good stuff, and then like editing was just that was my first time like editing anything by myself,
Wow.
producing it by myself, and then just like praying this looks halfway decent. Um, and then just kind of learning from other people from there. But yeah, that one really kicked off a lot of different stuff for me.
And your mic work, the promo skills, obviously. With your theater background, you come from a family of ministers. Your dad, as you say, a shit talker. It does not
Yes.
surprise me that you're good on the mic and can tell some good stories and promos. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I come from a line of, you know, masters of the oral arts.
Yeah.
Like I have a lot of speakers in my family.
um, grew up in Atlanta. That's what you said. Yeah, hot Atlanta. Did all sorts. Had to do sports, football.
Hmm.
You're in
Hmm.
them all. Um, uh, you played college football.
Yep.
West Georgia. Was there ever
Yeah.
an inkling of going to the next step, going to the NFL, or was that just not?
No, man, this is the thing that people do not understand,
Yeah,
man. You take every high school senior playing football, regardless of position, man, only about 6% of those kids are going to play football, play a
yeah,
snap of college football at any level, on any level. Now, out of that 6%, less than 1% of those kids are going to go pro.
right.
That's not even getting drafted, just drafted, unsigned free agent, whatever. Less than 1%. I was happy to be a part of the 6%.
I
It's a different game.
bet.
High school to college, fast, very fast, very, and like I said, man, this is almost 18 years ago.
Yeah,
Um, so the game has evolved immensely since then. But then even the time I got a chance to go to like a camp, a undrafted rookie camp, I'm like, yo, this is insane. And I just kind of knew, like, yo, man, I've kind of reached my level here. Like, okay, that's fair. I
right.
gave that a shot, but there's no way I'm gonna embarrass myself over here. Um, so yeah, man, it's a grind. My dad played pro for a little bit.
Oh,
He got hurt, and then he ended up going back to school.
yeah.
But even still, he's like, no, man, that's a different monster.
Um, what? Okay, so grew up playing all sorts of sports. Had to do that. uh, in Atlanta, minister, strict Christian family. What led you from college? You've hit your peak. You did what you need to do in football. What led you into the journey of wrestling?
So, man, actually, uh, I've been, like I said, been a fan since a little
Right.
kid, whatever. I joined the fire department.
That's
So
right.
after
15
that,
years.
that was good 15 years, man. That's a lot of fun.
It takes balls
Um,
to do that. Woo.
oof, boy, trust me, man, it's not for everybody. Um, I was always been a fan, and I got to a point where I was hitting this lull of where I wanted to challenge myself that in a way that I've never been challenged before. Um, but I knew what wrestling was at the time, but I really didn't know what it was. So like trying to figure out, okay, where does one even begin to start for that matter is like, you know, difficult.
Hmm.
You don't know who to trust. You don't know who's going to give you the best shot to make the most of yourself, who's here to take your money. There's a lot of, I'd say I was a brand new babe into the game, but I found a gym out in Kennesaw. Uh, and it was a drop in rate. So he's like, "Hey man, $20, come on in, roll around. I'll teach you what I know. You can go from there." I'm like, "Cool." Johnny Swinger,
Ah.
my very first day, Johnny Swinger. Um, so I did that for a little while, but because of course of my athletics and everything else, like me in the ring the first time was just like a duck in water, just poop. Hey
Yeah.
guys, no big deal. I knew where I was. And I trained with Johnny for a little while, having the time of my life, really not expecting it to go anywhere. And he goes, "Hey man, I do a show down in Statesboro, Georgia. And for those who don't know where that is, good. But do not know where that is. That place sucks. Um, it sucks. It's home to Georgia Southern, and without Georgia Southern, that place is a blip. But anyway, I would do some shows down there in front of people, maybe like 8 months in, all this good stuff. But doing those trips every so often, I got I was told by some of Robert Gibson, he was training some kids too,
Nice.
and we was doing on the same shows. And then Robert Gibson got a sniff of me, and then he brought me in, and then I started training under Robert Gibson like exclusively. So it's one of those where I got like a really crash course, a K through 12
Yeah.
education from Johnny Swinger, and then all of a sudden I'm training with Robert Gibson, and I'm not training like college courses, no, brother, PhD,
Yeah.
like right
Masters.
off
Yeah.
master's course right out the gate. So yeah, I it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
What would you say? And probably another cliche question, but I'm going to ask
No,
anyways.
not at all.
What would you say is one of the biggest things, piece of advice you took away from those two, Johnny Swinger and Robert Gibson?
Protect yourself.
Mm.
Protect yourself. And because that can mean a myriad of different things to a myriad of different people, that's why it makes sense. Protect yourself. Whatever you think that means, then that's exactly what it means. Protect yourself.
Protect yourself. Nice. I like it. Could mean a plethora of things. Damn
That's why I
straight.
love it.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I was also wondering, because I didn't get enough time today with those kids raking me through the
That's all
calls.
good.
Death to fake heavyweights.
Yeah, man.
What's that mean?
Man, so wrestling is goes through its ebbs and flows. Wrestling has its phases. Wrestling has its what I call its eras, has its periods, whatever. And for the longest time, there's been people who always called themselves like, oh, they work a strong style, or they work this, or they're just, oh yeah, I'm a big guy. But I'm like, but no, you're not. Everybody wants to be a big guy until a big guy steps in the ring, and then all of a sudden, nobody wants to be a big guy anymore. um, and I'm putting a stop to that. Fake heavyweight's exactly what it is. You tell me you have a heavyweight title and your dude weighs a buck 80. Nah, man, I'm going to eat that dude's lunch. Like I'm going to crack him open like a crab leg. Like no, I'm eating this dude's lunch. Whatever. Um, or just people who are big but big for all the wrong reasons. Nah, man, you are a fake heavyweight, and this until you can start moving people like You got to move a man. Can you move me? If you can't, you are a fake heavyweight, and death to you.
Death to you. Damn. I'm scared. I'm shaking there, Vanessa. Holy shit. I mentioned ST. I mentioned the Shane Taylor promotions. We talked about Ring of Honor. I saw you there. I saw you on For the Culture. I think it was in that like pandemic type of year. There was a lot of subbing
Yeah,
in and
yeah,
out.
that
I
was a
think.
wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a wild time. That was a wild time.
What's it mean? What does it mean to be part of For the Culture? Because that was a big show.
Yeah, man. No, it's dope. I get anytime I get a chance to be a part of it. Like, it's fun. You don't say no to it.
Right.
You don't say no to it. Um, but to me though, it's while you appreciate the stage that you get, I'm never satisfied with the stage that I get.
Yeah.
Because it's for me, I'm just like, okay, cool. You see me on this stage now. I want to be on the GCW main stage now.
Right.
Like, so what do I need to do to be over there? What else needs to be said so I can be on that stage? Because I know that, for the culture, it's great. And I know for the culture, it's going to bring a type of audience that most people are not going to see. I'm like, that's awesome. But I know those guys.
Right.
Like the people watching for the culture, I know who they are because I'm with them.
Right.
And, I conversate with them and I talk to them. I want to be on the show where everybody else is and let them understand, let them see that, like, I mean, there's so much more out there. There's so much more talent out there that you guys aren't even scratching the surface of. But because you guys can't see the forest for the trees, you're going to miss out.
Damn. Damn. Got a vision. Got a vision and a passion. Uh, I'm gonna get back to Ring of Honor in a second because Ring of Honor's picked back up, and I want to get your thoughts on that. But I would be remiss. I read a quote from you today, which I think is so inspirational and motivational, and people are gonna hear it and read it someday. And I'll just read it. It says, I am proud of who I am. I'm a bisexual black man living in the United States of America. If you are reading this, you are loved. If you're reading this, you matter. If you're reading this, you are cherished and always will be. Be good to each other. Life is a bitch, so you be careful how you treat her. Those words, man, someone's gonna read that and it's gonna turn their day around. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, don't really have a question on that. I would be remiss if I didn't say it meant a lot to me reading that, and I know, I think that was from Outsports.com. I believe.
Yeah, yeah. I remember that. I remember that article. No,
Yeah,
man, it wasn't. It was one of those things of just like, the world's big.
yeah,
The world's big. And we're just a real small blip, in it. But in that time, like, make it mean something,
yep,
make it worth something. Whatever that means to you is what it is. I have normalized telling my friends that I love them because
yeah,
I do. I love my friends, man. Um, and I don't say that to be like facetious. Like, no, when I tell it to them, they see it, because they look at me and goes, "Hey, man, I love you too." Cool, and it's great. I love that. I love that for my circle,
yeah,
my circle of people that I keep close to me. But yeah, man, I can understand that I might not be for everybody, and that's okay.
yep,
I get it. But that doesn't mean I'm not for everybody at the same time,
yeah.
So, and after that, I'm just like, all right, man, cool. Let's keep it moving.
Let's keep it rolling. Yeah, you said like when you said you matter. Like I say that a lot. I say it with my students, say it with my kids. You matter. Like just remember that. And
Of
so yeah,
course.
well said. Very well said. Uh, Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor took its hiatus, took its all the stuff around it. It's now back. I know that there are three individuals at Ring of Honor right now. The Embassy holding those trios titles. Um, get any phone call from Shane? Are you guys going to be getting those titles back? Do you have a third? Where do you stand on that?
Well, we always have Moses in the back
That's
pocket.
true.
Moses is always there.
That
Moses is
is
always
true.
there.
Well, I forgot
In
Moses.
terms of phone calls, like I said, not much nothing, which is fine.
Yeah,
We can't help that. We can't really, if we could, we would have been there already. But we at the same time we get what Ring of Honor is now, so it's
yeah,
going to get introduced to a much bigger and much broader audience very quickly, and and very rapidly. And for that, there's only a certain amount of time for everybody, so you get in where you fit in. But me and Moses, we all abide by the time of the minutes that we get, we maximize those minutes,
Yep.
because you don't know if you're gonna get another one. So the ones you get, maximize it, get another one, maximize it, get another one, so on and so forth. And that's kind of what we want to do.
You talked about, you mentioned when you were referring to For the Culture, you're like, this is great. I'm glad I'm on this. I want to be on that next stage, that main stage. Uh, where does O'Shea Edwards want to go next? Where will he shine?
Anywhere that'll have me. Anywhere that'll have me. Like I said, there's within wrestling, and I kind of had to learn this the hard way. There's so many things that's outside of my control. There's so many things that I can control,
Right.
and it's even those things I control, they're not that big in the grand scheme of things. It's really not that big. So for me, I'm going to shine wherever they'll have me. Let it be, stateside. Let it be on TV screens. Let it be internationally. Doesn't matter. Wherever I go, I will shine, and I will make sure the world sees it.
Spectacular. You said you got the best piece of advice were ever given. Somebody told you, "Why are you yelling?"
Yeah, man. Bully Ray told me that. He's like, "Why are you yelling?" Because I do not understand why are you yelling right now. It was during a promo class. He was like, "Hey, man, you are a big motherfucker.
Yeah.
Uh, you don't need to yell ever because you are a big motherfucker. When you walk into a room, people should just shut the fuck up." And he was like, "Have you ever seen Pulp Fiction?" I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah." He was like, he's like, "Do you know who Marcellus Wallace is?" And I looked at him, I go, "Yes, I do." He goes, "You need to be Marcellus Wallace every single time."
Yeah.
Okay, you got it. And ever since then, unless I have to, I have never raised my voice in a
Yeah.
promo, and I never will.
Yeah. He's said stuff like raise it if you have, like, the less you do it, the more it will mean if you
Right.
have to use it.
The,
Yeah.
the greatest weapon you ever have is the one you don't have to fire.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. We need a little less less of that
Yeah.
in the world. And then your gear. Your gear is hot. Uh, and I heard you, and I so mad because I can't remember what podcast it was on. I heard you talking. Gear guy, Sway Archer, phenomenal human,
Yeah, man.
right?
Phenomenal human.
Yes,
Phenomenal human, man.
great
I'm
talent.
glad I got it. I'm
Yeah,
glad I got on him on the ground floor because,
yeah.
boy,
He's blowing up.
he's expensive. He's blowing. I mean, as he should be.
Yeah.
As he should be, man. There's so many talented gear makers out there who are really getting a chance to shine. It's awesome. I love seeing my people succeed, man. Anytime my people get to do stuff, man, I stand up and clap.
Uh, you mentioned some earlier. You gave us a whole list. Sway, Willow, Trish. Who else? Who else out there should I be seeing? Who should I go watch after this?
One called Manders.
Oh
Uh,
boy. Okay.
one
Yeah.
called Manders. One called Manders. I tell you what, anybody and everybody on the pro wrestling grind roster,
Oh yeah. I was going to mention that.
as
Very
a,
underrated roster.
on the show as a whole, just one of the better shows going on in the Northeast. Just hands down. And when I say that, there's a lot of great shows in the Northeast. You got Chaotic, you got Blitzkrieg, you got Wrestling Open, you got Beyond, you got Limitless. But man, pro wrestling guy is carving out a niche for themselves, and it's awesome. Go check out Adam Priest. Um, Go check out Jaden Newman. They're both run down south. Real hard TWE, New South, Action Wrestling.
Yeah.
I'll be there actually tomorrow. Um, yeah, give them a big look, give them a big shout, man. The Southeast doesn't get as much love as it should, but they're pumping out some solid guys, like guys who are already on the WWE level. A lot of guys who are in the AWE level came out of Georgia. They just didn't do, the traditional wrestling path, and good for them.
Right.
But Georgia's cranking out some talent. Guys need to be really scared.
You said you had something coming up this weekend with Action. What do you got going on?
Yeah, so I got a show with Action tomorrow. Then I gotta be out in Augusta, Georgia. After that, I don't have another week off until I think the end of March. I've been moving the past 2 months. Just it's it's been kicked off, so I've been really on the grind getting it.
Nice, spectacular. Um,
Yeah, man.
I mentioned at the start. Been a pleasure to have on. what we do at the end of every show. I'm giving you the microphone now. You can put over anything you want. You can bury anyone you want. You can say anything you want. I will not interrupt. The floor is yours, sir.
Yeah, no good, man. No, don't worry about it. I'm not going to drop any pipe bombs on anybody. It's one of those things, man, where heat's a one-way street. It ain't coming from this direction. I'll tell you that right now.
I like that.
Um, cool, man. Yo, this goes out to pretty much everybody on social media. Yo, man, shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up, man. Oh my God. It's just, it doesn't have to be every day. It doesn't have to be every detail. Just shut the fuck up. That's no, you're not that important. Nah, brother, you're just not that important where everybody needs to know. You just don't, man. I get sick to my stomach sometimes. Like I'm on Twitter because of for work, and I'm just like, ugh, I hate this place so much. Shut the fuck up. Um, to everybody else, yo, man, keep wrestling fun. Wrestling's supposed to be fun. At the end of the day, that's all it is. It's fun. Think about what it is. Really sit down and think about it. Wrestling's silly, and it's okay that it's silly. You can be as serious as you want to. At the end of the day, it's pretty silly what we're doing, but it's fun. It's designed to be fun. And if people can make money at it, kudos to you. If people like want to just do their own thing, kudos to you. But keep it fun. The minute you start barking at somebody else because they're not watching the type of wrestling you think they should be watching, dude, it's not fun anymore. Just shut up, let people enjoy shit. Trust me, your life will get exponentially better. Um, Buy my shit. Whatamaneuver.net. Search O'Shea Edwards on there. For you wear all my shirts on there as
Oh,
well.
nice.
Um, Here's the socials. You find me on Twitter at Big Bad Kaiju. You can follow me on Instagram at Big Bad Kaiju, period after every single word. You can find me on Facebook, but I'm not going to follow you because gross. It's Facebook. Come on, bro. Um, yeah, man. Thanks for having me, dog. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, anytime. Should we try to make it as not podcast template as possible? We do the best we can. I will add one more thing. You mentioned wrestling fun, which it should be, making money on wrestling. If they legalized betting on wrestling, would you be into that? No.
It'd be the stupidest thing ever. Stupidest thing ever. Like, you mean it to me? Oh, we'll make sure nobody knows.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
no, no. Just don't even. Just stop. Stop. It'd be the dumbest thing ever. The dumbest thing. You're betting on a. Let me stop. Let me
Stop.
stop.
Wrestling's fun. Let's just stop.
Wrestling's fun.
Wrestling.
Wrestling's supposed to be fun.
Wrestling
That's
is
it.
fun.
Wrestling's supposed to be fun.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. Doors open. You can come back anytime. You're a friend of the show now. Once again, thanks for giving us your time, and have a glorious night.
Dude, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. You have a good one.
Yeah, anytime. Peace. Great stuff, Vanessa.